Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday, so it must be our evening meditation time, and we are now in the Metaphysical Month of May. So welcome to May. I love doing our evening meditations, and I'm so glad that I've had so much encouragement and support, and that you guys have taken on so much and have gone deep on Wednesday nights and really have had the courage to do so much exploring yourself. So I think that's wonderful. I'm proud of you, I'm proud of us, and look forward to many more of these experiences in the future. Before we get started tonight, I'm Reverend Robin Nashak, and if you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, remember to say hello in the comments. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you are on the YouTube live channel. And just know that I'm going to check to see who's here watching. If I miss you, please, I will apologize in advance. I got a lot of things moving around here, and so sometimes I get a little flustered. So given that, just know that I'm so grateful that we've all been here together now for a month, a little more than a month, and that we're starting a new journey together. Before we get started, I'm going to encourage everyone to set an intention for this evening's meditation. That could be either a question that you are asking for the universe to answer, or stating guidance that you would like to receive. We want to give the universe as much specifics as possible about what we want, but allow then the unfolding to happen the way that it is designed to, in the best way for us. So our intentions are always this or something better. So our intention tonight can be a way that we're going to reflect, a way to channel that energy into something specific, or to something that can have a measurable or at least a noticeable outcome for you. Now, you don't have to write it down on a little slip of paper, but I am going to write my intention down on a slip of paper, as well as the words everybody's intentions on one slip of paper. And then as we sign off tonight, we're going to allow these pieces of paper to burn in a cauldron behind me, and allow them to go out into the universe, into the air, so that they can be returned to us in the way that they are supposed to be returned, in the way that is best for us to receive that guidance, have our question answered. So it's all about setting the intention and then letting it go and letting it happen. If you are using a slip of paper, you can hold that paper in the palm of your hand during our meditation. And if you don't, you can just imagine that piece of paper in the palm of your hand as we meditate. Now, it's a new month, and I think I'm interested in exploring some new oracle card decks. And so tonight, we are going to be exploring a beautiful deck that I've had for years, but haven't had the chance to use it in quite some time. And it is called the Tao Oracle Deck. The artwork on these cards are beautiful, and they give very detailed descriptions of the cards, which we may or may not go into tonight, depending on kind of the overall impact of the card that we receive. If there's enough information on the card that we can just dive into the book for a bit of it, for a bit more of it, actually. So it's an exciting new card night, and I think that you'll enjoy them, and it will allow us to kind of open our minds to other ways that we might want to meditate during our evening meditations as well. What will remain the same, though, is that I will have the cards with me. I will shuffle the cards, and then I will draw the first card off of the top so that you can see that I've drawn the card and that I've not reached into the deck with my own intuition for my own personal read, but this one will represent, or we will all designate this energy of this top card to be the card that represents everybody here tonight, as well as everyone that may be joining us after tonight, if you are watching the recorded video. So it's not that hard. All you have to do is receive the message and the guidance, and then relax a little bit and meditate. Take some time into the stillness, to go into the stillness, and then we will we'll do some deep meditation. You'll listen to some sound cues from whatever is moving me tonight. So either our drum or our singing bowls or our steel drum, or all three, as we did last week. So again, happy to hear about what you like or what you may want to suggest for future meditations. So be sure to make a comment in the comments section and help us make this the best possible experience that it can be for you wherever you are watching from, either from Zoom or on YouTube Live or on Facebook Live. So be the feelers out there. Let us know what's going on. And I think all will be very exciting for this month of May, for the Metaphysical Month of May. Now I'm going to reach over. I've got to grab something before we move on, because I left my placeholder card in the spot that I have the camera, and I want to make sure it gets returned to the deck so it has the potential of being drawn. So excuse me one second. I'll vacate my chair. Back. So we've got all the cards ready to shuffle, ready to see what this card deck holds in store for us. They're so beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to showing you these cards, because I think you're really going to enjoy them. Let's shuffle. We are using the Tao Oracle deck. Beautiful artwork. Very, very detailed messages as well. And let us shuffling off to Buffalo. Again, not a card player, and these are big cards too, which I like because I think they're going to be fun to see. Might have to look. And actually, before we draw, let me write my intentions. I'm all flummoxed because of the merry month of May and the metaphysical month of May, so I'm going to write my intentions and grab lighter for our candle. I'm going to write mine down. First, I'm going to write everyone's intentions. Right here, you can see it. I'll hold this card or this piece of paper. This will be energized by everybody tonight as you're meditating, and everybody in watching the recordings beyond the live stream. All right. I have my intention. Do you have yours? Now we can shuffle. I guess I must have spring fever or something. Not a real fever. Just spring fever. It's so beautiful today. All right, back to the shuffle. One more time. And if you want to hold your hands up this time and kind of send your energy to not just me, but to everybody that is participating. So this can be reflective of that draw. All right. Enough of that. I'm going to draw the top card. You're going to see it. Hopefully you're going to see how beautiful this is and agree with me. Let's take a look. So the card for tonight is interesting. So these are very deep cards, and this card is the title of the card is the Taming Power of the Small, and it's got a spider in a spider web. And I'm hoping that the lighting, as the sun comes down here, is right enough for you to see it when we put it down, for you to look at where I have the other cameras. So let us do that. So, just one moment. I'm back. So let us read about the taming power of a small. This little book here. So as always, I invite you to, and even more, I guess, because we've got a little more complexity to these cards. What does that mean to you as you see those words, as I say those words, the taming power of the small? How does that resonate? How does that work with the intention that you have set or the question that you have asked? How is that an answer? And that's the beauty of this. You're not asking yourself if it's an answer. You are realizing that you can ask the question how it is an answer. And here we go. Turn on the card. There we have. Well, that's not very clear, but all right. So you review the card while I read. The taming power represented here is in learning to appreciate and work with times of having little influence. Due to circumstances beyond your control, any effect you can have now will only be experienced in ways that are so subtle they may seem downright invisible. The ego can experience such times as impossibly irritating and frustrating. You may be chomping at the bit to change the situation, yet all your attempts seem to fail. This can be all the more irksome when you clearly see the direction things are going, yet feel powerless to do anything that might steer them in the direction that you favor. This is a precious time for taking care of small things, paying attention to details, and making repairs in preparation for greater possibilities of influence that will arise later on. You can work quietly from behind the scenes now and be attentive to eliminating habitual and unproductive modes of behavior. Look within to see what attitudes you may be carrying that undermine your sense of trust or your ability to deal with others from a stance of gentleness and receptivity. Avoid getting involved in the desire to push the river. Instead, practice watching events unfold with dispassion and with a passive alertness. Getting caught up in the busyness might lead you to miss the fleeting moments of opportunity. Be aware of a dichotomy that may predominate at this time. Being overly ambitious, in a drive for a powerful position, or becoming so complacent that you fall asleep in moments of indifference. Finding the balance here means alert watchfulness and being relaxed in the knowledge that you are attentive and available for whatever might be needed at a moment's notice. Carry on with your work from a detached viewpoint that is not invested in particular outcomes. Such detachment will help you more accurately discern the subtle influence of changes that are already affecting the situation. Although your powers of influence are restricted now, it does not mean you are out of the loop. Life is giving you an opportunity to explore your humility and your ability to work with what is, even when it feels as though all the excitement is happening somewhere else. Take a lesson from the spider. She works tirelessly to prepare her web unbeknownst to those around her. However many times her work may be damaged, she tends to the repairs as soon as she notices they are needed. She never postpones. She never seeks attention. Her strength is in her ability to blend into her surroundings. She does what she needs to do without wasting energy. And when all her preparations have been tended to, she is able to be utterly still, utterly alert, and to wait in trust that eventually some tasty opportunities will come her way. The taming of the small. So some of the key words that are associated with this card: self-sufficiency, useful preparation, taking care of your own affairs, returning to balance, being conscientious and sincere. So conscientiousness, sincerity, balance, external influences. These are what we are looking at this evening. The message really is dropping the desire to advance, resisting the temptation to focus on power that not only do we not have, but that we're not meant to have at this time. It is a version of blooming where we are planted, working with what we have, and understanding the taming power of the small. There is power in this place. So how does that work with your question? How are you, the spider this evening, planning and being conservative in our ambition, but always being aware of when the time will be right to assert yourself, to raise your voice? I don't know about you. I do a lot of shouting when I am in conflict, especially the more comfortable, the more close I am with my relationships, because I feel comfortable allowing myself to become more worked up. I also know that when I begin to raise my voice are the moments where I'm immediately beginning to lose my own personal power and effectiveness, because I am no longer thinking. I am only feeling, and feeling in an unrestrained way. So the taming power of small, for instance, for me, could be the opportunity to recognize that I don't have to have the last word. I don't have to be the top rung in the power struggle. I can take on an passively aware point of view. So this does not mean that I am being passive. This means that I am making a choice to be active in my awareness, but taking a break from the activity. Now, what this also means is that I can't go back to this situation later and think that I had to stifle myself. This is not a stifling. This is all of this is the taming power of small. This is our power. Power in the waiting, power in the preparation. Let's not be too anxious, but let's also be aware to go exactly when we get the sign. And we all know when that sign will come for us. So how does that work for you? I ask you again. How does it feel? How do you apply it to your question, to your intention? And where is the beautiful spider or her web, or these words of self-sufficiency, humility, awareness come into play in your life and with this intention? Let's see, shall we? So let's go into meditation and start to prepare to go there by getting comfortable. If you haven't made that nest for yourself, spun that web for yourself, do it now. Get comfortable. We want to be alert, but we also want to be able to be relaxed as well. So if you can recline without falling asleep, probably better. And be aware that if you do fall asleep and you are listening, you are getting information from the meditation. So don't be too hard on yourself if you do fall asleep, but if you can remain alert, even better. So there is no right, there is no wrong. You don't have to go anywhere. No one is telling you that you have to be in a place as we meditate tonight. This is really all your opportunity to allow your imagination to serve you in the best way that you have asked it to serve you. It's about getting into your deepest self. So we're comfortable, we're relaxed, and before we actually close our eyes, we're going to take the first two of our 3 big, deep breaths together, and we're going to keep our eyes open. And then on that last breath, I'm going to ask you to just allow your eyelids to flutter closed. And when they do, to see if you can kind of tip your eyes upward toward your crown chakra. So you're going to be kind of almost rolling your eyes up just a little upwards towards your forehead, towards your third eye chakra. That also helps keep you alert and aware. So let's take our deep breaths together. Eyes open. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. And on this last breath, inhale. And exhale. There we see the card. You can glance at it just to be reminded. Our words are adaptability, resourcefulness, self-sufficiency, the taming power of the small. So as our breathing returns to normal, we want to keep a nice, slow, and steady breath. Inhaling and exhaling with intention, but with each breath, more and more relaxed. More and more relaxed. We're breathing. And it's almost like our body relaxes fully with each breath. So tonight, with every breath, it's just as if our entire physical presence has become more and more light, almost weightless, until our breathing, inhaling and exhaling, allows it to just float as an essence, so that the material, physical self has lightened up in weight and mass, almost becoming like an apparition, but one with much looser shape and form, perhaps echoing our physical body, but much more fluid as that essence rises into the air. Always shifting and flowing, seeming to form around a very loose mold of our physical selves, but also having the opportunity to flow and toss and billow as an essence. As this essence, we are free from pain and anxiety and fear. And as the tone drifts away, this essence that we are is a part of our imagination. And so as this essence, we can not only imagine ourselves in other shapes and forms and places and situations, we can be and become and go to those other imaginary places and situations and become other imaginary entities, people, animals. And when we say imaginary, we're not talking about an illusion. We are talking about the reality that we create with our imagination. So where we are, what we envision ourselves to be tonight, and whenever we meditate, is who we are and who we can become. So just try to feel the power of this. Our essence is our thought, is our essence. As we think, we become in this magical spiritual space, knowing that as we think, we become in our own material lives as well. So we are relaxed and comfortable and still feeling the beautiful light weightlessness of floating. And as we hear the sounds of the steel drum, our weightless and shapeless self in our imagination and mind's eye begins to become something. And go and be somewhere. And so as this essence flows and converges, we become aware of what is around us and what is manifesting underneath us, beside us, above us, and below us. Is a beautiful, web, silken, glistening from the morning dew. In this web, we are not caught in it in any way, for we have been weaving this web. This web is that situation in our life that we have set an intention or asked a question about. It's beautiful. It glistens. and shines in the morning sun. For it is of us and our life. It's soft and silky and strong. And we are right in the middle of it. And we become aware of how tired our limbs are, how hard we've worked to create this web that is our life, or that situation in our life we have asked a question about or set an intention about. It's perfection. And almost as if we are the strong and beautiful and resourceful spider, we suddenly realize that we, just like the spider, have many eyes. And our eyes give us the opportunity to look at life and our situation in multiple ways at the same time. As the spider, we've released our determination to hold on to the binary idea of seeing one place, or one thing, or one area at one time. Instead, with these many eyes, we can see the scope of the web of life that we have been creating. We can see the people, we can see the impact of our decisions on our life in this web, on the people around us, those we love, those we may not think we love. But as this spider, our imaginations have opened to multiple views that we don't have to choose to see, because we see and know at one time. In our human selves, we were afraid of looking at the other way, where it might lead us, what it might tell us to do. But as the spider tonight, we realize that that was just an illusion. To have to see choices, decisions, impacts as something that choose between one or the other. We now see it's all there, all of the answers. Many eyes. Everything makes sense with this perspective and this view of many views. All at the same time. And while we're here, we imagine the truth of these multiple views to inform us, to answer that question, to guide us down the path that we have chosen or have asked to take. Here, as the morning sun glistens through our beautiful life, creating a prism of many reflected colors. We realize that this place of being small as a spider has also yielded us the power of multiple views, multiple perspectives at the same time. And so the power that we experience comes not from a pushing against or pulling away from the power we have in this beautiful springtime May evening. Is the power, the ability to see multiple perspectives within this web, beautiful and strong and soft, this beautiful web of our life. Know that this web is just one of the many that we have created and woven so beautifully in our lives. And the other power we get from this meditative, explorative journey is the awareness of how we can come back to our spider self, knowing that our hard work is the basis, is the root is the place to start. So that we can place ourselves in the center of it, of our own life, and with our multiple eyes. See multiple perspectives that allow us to see and understand and know more clearly than we ever would have imagined before, but can imagine now. We are so humbled by this moment, knowing that a part of this perspective is that we are but one part of not only our own web of life, we ourselves are part of others' webs as well. And as if to answer what that looks like in our imagination, our many eyes look outward and see the many of us in our webs. Our many eyes can see many webs, and many souls who have taken on the spider form to see multiple perspectives. And we feel comforted, sense our connection, and realize that our web is part of an even greater web. A beautiful web made of all webs. With many who also have many eyes and perspectives to see and understand. And the comfort that we get from this sense of fellowship brings us peace, confidence in our own strength, and in our perspective of multiple views. And with peace in this moment, glistening, silken prism of colors, the gift of this expansive view. We choose to come back to our very human, very real as our spider cells, body. Knowing that this spider self and the truths that we have learned and discovered and remembered are as real as the physical life and the physical space that we exist as material bodies. This is as real. Our insight is as real. And so we become very aware that all of a sudden the web from which we were suspended begins to slowly dissolve away. But it is real. And so we know that our web of life is only dissolving in our imagination, but remains wherever we go and whatever we do. And as it dissolves, we also feel that multiple sense, that multiple perspective view of our many eyes begins to dissolve back into our two human eyes, while the rest remains in our imagination. And our bodies begin to take shape around what has been our essence, just filling in, reappearing. They've never gone anywhere. We have allowed them to release and to reimagine as physical selves. And so we continue to bring ourselves back. With every breath, inhaling and exhaling. And with every breath on this return, brings us closer and closer to awareness and awakeness. Until we are ready to return completely three breaths as we always do. So we're going to inhale and exhale quickly. We'll keep our eyes closed for the first two, and then we will open them slowly on the last one. Inhale and exhale. Once again, inhale. Exhale. And one last time, inhale. And exhale as we return completely. Hello, my spider souls. How do you feel? Do you remember what it felt like to be that spider? I invite you all to remember that feeling of being in the web and the listening strength of those silken strings that you created for you. And the answers that you got from being able to see all of it at one time. It's a beautiful thing. And I thank you for taking that journey, for exercising that imagination, which is bringing you to a place that is as real as the one that we are in right now. I'm not even physically with you. That is what our imagination can do. It brings us together. It's thrilling, I think. So let us send our intentions and the memories that we've had of those perspectives out into the universe and allow them to work for us, to play for us, to bring back for us. I'm going to burn mine first. You can see it here. Sending it out into the universe, and then finish tonight with, this is everybody's intentions. Thank you all for putting your energy into this ticket, into our own web, the bigger web of life we make together as we do these every week. And so I want to just take a moment, because I do have a little bit of time now, to acknowledge who has joined us here. First of all, on Zoom, hello to Joyce. Love you. Good to see you. So good to see you, Virginia. Thank you for joining us on Zoom. And let's see who is on the other platform, shall we? And you can put anything you'd like in the comments. Reload. If I miss you, please forgive me. The comments. Oh, there we go. Right, who has comments? There's Mina and Jan Kiefer. Yay. Stephanie Cruz. Hello. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us. I'm so excited. So excited. Being here in this new platform has been so great. I've been able to send out to Facebook and YouTube, and we've had so many people join on Facebook that are from other parts of my life, and it's been so great to see everybody converge in this space. So thank you so much. There's Sue as a YouTuber. Let's reload and see if anybody else joined. Thrilled that you're all here. And so grateful for the opportunity to just have some fun and be still. You haven't given me much of your time tonight. I'm so grateful. Write it down. Write that spider story down that you experienced. Write down what you saw in all those perspectives. Catch it like you catch a dream when you wake up, and see where it allows you to go and where you're guided, what questions it's answering. I invite everybody to check back always to the Spiritual Spinisters Facebook page. I'm in the process of getting my webpage up as well, so that you can schedule an appointment with me for a private session as a card, for a card reading, or for an energy healing, for spiritual counseling. You can see when we're going to be holding other things other than meditations, and most importantly right now, you can see that we have other collaborations going with several other of my spiritual super friends. And this is hello Virginia, one of my super friends there, hopefully collaborating on something very soon for everybody, with Virginia and with Hillary Lowenstein of Hillary's Mindful Living. Our latest episode of High Vibing with Hillary and Rev Rob came out today. It's about the ego. If you've been in any group or anything with me in the last 6 months, you know this is my soapbox. So take a look at the video we just posted today. Pay attention for other collaborations. Karma and Cocktails with my friend Brenda. I am working on something with my friend Kathleen. We're very excited about creative exploration. And Amanda and I just talked about something too. So this is what it's about, everybody. Getting together, collaborating, forming fellowship, forming community. This is what the online community is able to do without being physically present. I think it's amazing. So you want to collaborate with me on something? Stephanie Cruz. If you're out there, I would love to think of something to do with you. So let's do it. I love you all. Have a wonderful evening. I will see you next week here at 7:30, if not before. Have a great night.